You're thinking, well, you have the inspector here. If he didn't say anything about it, it must be all right.
This house should have burnt down years ago.
The whole house needs to get rewired. There's no disturbance about it.
You expect him to see things and tell you, or at least write them in the report. You know, this looks odd, this is wrong, this isn't per code.
This washroom is as good as a closet. They should have used it for storage.
According to him, it's a solid house with good bones.
I am absolutely disgusted with this home inspector.
The inspector never caught any of this, so we were oblivious to it.
Oh my God! It's carpenter ants.
I like the area, I like the house, I just don't like all the problems.
Yeah, maybe. Mike Holmes. On the money. It's ridiculous. I decided now it's a gut. Take it all down.
Mike Holmes, I love you.
Me too. Unacceptable. I don't know what they're doing. It's something I always say to people. If you're going to buy a home, I don't care if it's brand new, used, get a home inspector. Have it inspected. Make sure that there's no problems with the home.
During the process of buying a house, we demanded an inspection because that was one of the biggest requirements, that everything be in working order when we bought it. And we thought the home inspection would do that for us.
Good morning. How are you? Eeyore, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Chris?
Hi, Mike.
You prefer Chris or Christine?
Chris is good.
Chris is good. I like that.
Yeah.
The question is, how qualified should you be to be a home inspector?
Inspector didn't see anything out of the ordinary.
We thought, wow, the guy really, you know, this is a great house. Nothing was really wrong with it, right?
Drop the ceiling, please. What they're looking at are things that we need to know about our home. Electrical, structural, plumbing, HVAC.
You've got to be kidding me. No. Here's where they tied in the 220. Yeah. They brought off other lines off the 220, came down for the dryer.
I've never in my life seen so many junctions in one room.
That is totally unacceptable. Totally. Now the electrical is 10 times worse than the plumbing.
First of all, you're not a professional home person, so you walk around with him, or you did, and you expect him to see things.
I got a bad feeling we're gonna gut this whole basement. Imagine everything in here out there.
Plus, you're not a professional to see those things so quickly.
I know what to check.
And what to check, right? So you walk around, and then it's only afterward you come in and you start using things, and then things don't work.
Raw sewage, everybody wants to throw up. This is what happens when you don't vent your plumbing, you don't plumb and drain properly, you don't glue your joints, you don't... This is what happens when you have a handyman do the plumbing.
Why do we hire people? To give us advice, to give us the things that we need to do in life so that we don't have problems.
You got some mold, eh?
I am absolutely thoroughly disgusted with this home inspector. If you smell it in the air, you search, you'll find it.
Who's responsible? Looks like no one.
Roll it back out, cut it in strips, roll it up gently, put it in a bag, plastic off the door. Okay. Shut off the furnace. Roll it out, cut it, strip it, bag it, get rid of it. Let's get the spray the floor, clean the floor. Once it's done, we'll continue.
Read the fine print. And it's stated all over the paperwork. We're not responsible. It's what appears. It's what we can see. So they don't lift things. They don't punch holes, which I understand. Nobody wants holes punched in their house. But when it's right there in front of you, you should be able to explain there's an issue.
Look at the nest. They got a nest of them. Behind the paper? In behind the paper. Oh,
Look at that.
wow, they're just going to love the moisture in that water. Everywhere. Look at them. Oh, my God. Ah,
Lovely day.
You want to tell me the bad news now? Are we going all the way with this?
Yeah. We're gonna have to get rid of the TV, the couch, all the stuff. Get it out of here. Got the whole thing.
in one room, we have plumbing problems, which led to electrical problems, which led to massive mold, a few thousand ants, more mold in the corner, 18 junction points in electrical, all the plumbing's wrong, and we just started. Yeah.
It's crazy because Mike came in here and saw the problems immediately. Yeah, your plumbing doesn't work, and he was right. It didn't work. Your electrical wiring is all wrong, and it was all wrong. And he guaranteed us we'll have mold down here, and we had mold, even more than maybe he expected. But the carpenter had said, wow.
This is the way they were giving the boxes ground.
That's correct.
And this just runs upstairs and picks up a ground somewhere upstairs.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there's already a fire that's broke out in there. You can see all the corroded lines in there. I can't even fix it.
Well, now that we've completely gutted the basement, a little more than I expected, we're going to get ready to rewire the whole house, all new plumbing, and I've given Damon the task of redesigning a new basement.
So it's the final one for our amendments and everything?
Okay, I really like this, Damon. I like the way we have an office here, and the open concept works for me rather than closing it off.
Right.
I like the way this is now opened up, because it just makes it so big here.
Let's do an open doorway as big as possible, please.
Okay.
6 inches off this wall, 6 inches off this wall. Keep it open concept, no doors.
Okay.
Tub, toilet, sink, bathroom's good. Door to laundry room here now.
Yep, right here.
Really good. Washer, dryer, tankless hot water.
Yep.
Good job.
Thanks, buddy.
Keep doing it.
Thanks, man.
So how much damage are you doing, my friend?
Well, so far here, this room here is not going to be that much damage. We got no lights. Oh, yeah, because we got no lights on the ceiling, and the basement's open. We got the kitchen light that's here. Our joists are running in our favor this way,
Okay.
so we can limit damage in the kitchen ceiling. But here, so I'm going to be coming across here with my wire, over, because now the joists are running this way, so I got to drill each joist.
Let's cover up everything. Their bed, their clothes, their TV. You can punch the hole there. That'll give you the beginning of what you need to see in the void.
Okay.
We're going to come up through the closet downstairs, which is directly under this, right?
Yep.
If we got to pull this sink, we got to pull the sink.
Okay.
Okay, and that's probably the easiest route because there's our stack. And if you said you can take out the stack route because you got to replace that receptacle of this, they got one out here, and this is probably all, again, wired the same as downstairs.
Actually, the whole top floor is a home breaker.
Geez, surprise. You got to get to the lighting here.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get to the lighting here, smoke detector. So there's going to be some damage on this ceiling as well.
Yeah. Let's try and keep it as much as possible damage in the hallways and the staircase and not the bedrooms, as least amount as possible in the bedrooms, but don't cut anything till we drape this. I want this place draped. We'll stay to the closet and right there. And that way we'll see how much we can feed and what's left from there, and if you have any other issues, we'll find another route. But that should be enough, because that allows us to get right through, right?
And then drill down.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll go up. I'm not going up there.
Oh, looky here. I guess this is where they put all the scrap drywall. Top floor bathroom, taking off mirrors and cabinets.
The reason we're doing this, pulling this cabinet out now, is because Joe needs to get behind here to fish his wires up because we're rewiring the house. What they have underneath this cabinet is a heat vent that's going into the cabinet and into the kick at the same time. It's one of those old heat vents. So they put this cabinet in. They didn't want to move the register. So when you look underneath the cabinet, you have half the vent coming into the cabinet space and half the vent going into the kick plate, trying to vent this washer and trying to heat it up.
There we go. If we do an interior weeping with all the roots in this ground, we're going to create the same issue. The roots will go into the weeping because it is the feed channel for the roots, okay? Let's do a solid pipe. We're going to do it across the front of the driveway. Let's embed it in stone to allow a secondary drainage bed, which leads to the sump pump. Let's do it.
Okay.
That stinks. I'm coming.
Lots of plumbing here, everything. I'm about half done. Not even. I'm not half done. Now I got to bring all these vents and drains. I got to bring them up. I got to tie them all in. I got to cut out all the water pipe, reroute all that, take out that kitchen sink drain that's running through the furnace. And then I got to find a vent in the attic and drop it down. Find a way to drop it down. Because that 1.5 inches over there by the kitchen that we found is not enough to pick up all these new fixtures. It's not gonna upset.
We are plastering off this whole house. What has to happen is Dan has to run plumbing lines. So he's running plumbing lines. They have to be vented for flow and everything. That has to go through the roof here. So basically, we have to do chases from the basement plumbing all the way to the roof so that it can vent outside. In order to do that, it means cutting out the floors, cutting out the walls. It means a whole lot of damage. So what we're doing is making sure that this whole house is plastic off, because the last thing we want to do is clean this whole house by the time we're done. It just adds on 2 or 3 days work. So plastic it now saves us work later. Okay, that's not what we want to do.
I know it's only 3 meters, but it sure beats mixing bags and bags of concrete down there, and I honestly prefer this over bags any day. What'd you bring us?
We got Ultra 25 MPA with some fibers in there just to help a little bit with the shrinkage.
Why not? So. It's too bad I'd take up the whole floor, but I got enough on my hands.
Oh, are you kidding me? There's no way I can do full bucket of boys.
Don't run, you're gonna get hurt.
look here, we'll see a crack, right? All I really have to do is blend it in. It's amazing what it does, just really seeing the edges. To me, it's purely aesthetic. It's not necessary, but, you know, I don't mind taking the extra 5 minutes to making it look good.
Sorry. I'm stuck. Pull me up. Nah, see? It's too wet.
How about your food?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Excellent. Looking good. Nice. You guys are flying along. Cleaned up. We'll get rid of the TV, the couch, everything else. Go right through the place, okay?
All right, man.
I have so had it with this house. It's a circus here today. There's people everywhere. There's stuff all over the floor. We should really be cautious about tripping hazards here. We're going to have Gary and Brian remove this duct line here so we can get this wall in. Dan's continuing the ventilation, air behind water, which is very important. He's going to tie it in. We're going to come up through the top plate here, shoot it right across on the back wall, and then we're going to go up through that closet upstairs that we cut a hole, maneuver it, and get it out through the roof. Obviously, with a ton of repairs. Upstairs, we're going to cut a big hole in behind the fridge. We're going to attach the pipe to the wall so we can release it here and tie into our 3-inch, which is 4-inch in through the floor. But just the opportunity to come down here and see it's so open. Office on that side. And now the rec room, right? They come around the corner. Too bad it is, but it's not that bad. I'm 6 feet, so this is just anybody over 6 feet's in trouble. Come into here, we can see where the wall's going to be. This is the wall's going to come right across, hide that column in there, and this creates a nice little alcove entertainment unit. By the end of this, it's going to be really nice. I think the homeowners are going to be freaked right out when they walk downstairs and realize, wow, our basement's huge. I'm on the opposite side of the crown. Here's the crown of the lumber. We always choose the straightest possible lumber that we can get. So I want my crown on the other side so I can level the uncrowned side. Now, if you stand right over there, you're going to see I have a minor crack right here. That's because the crown's on this side. A good way to show it is I'll shine my flashlight through it. If I have my 6-foot level centered in between the stud and I level it, I'm on the money, as accurate as possible for being true. That means the wall is almost 100% level.
Nice.
Joe just called me over to take a look at how he was going to rewire, which we're assuming is the gas fireplace upstairs. And we're going to also assume that it runs on a fan, which we don't know yet. So he cuts his line. He notices that we have a line running in the chimney. Well, look up above that. What else do we have in there? We have a gas line that feeds the fireplace upstairs. So all we got to do is pop off the old doors here, the old clean-out doors here. This electrical line right here runs right up through the chimney. What did we find walking through this house? Visibly, that was right in front of us. The electrical was right in front of us. The plumbing was right in front of us, which says somebody's worked on this house that doesn't know what they're doing, and you may have issues down the road. This is an extreme issue. We're talking off gases from the furnace here, so that's probably and more than likely coming back into the house through the holes. Electrical running up there with major heat off the furnace, it's not allowed. Gas, electrical, absolutely not allowed. It was totally missed by the inspector on this job. You should have caught it. Go to the chimney. What's this electrical line? Geez, that appears to be going through the chimney. What's this gas line? That appears to be going through the chimney. What the hell? They're going to use this for a fresh air intake to the fireplace. No. This was a wood burning. That's why. What did we just do? We went on the outside. We took off a cap. We find it's a fresh air intake for the old wood burning fireplace. We cannot see where the gas line is, where the electrical line is. But I did take a mirror and look up the chimney, which the furnace and the hot water heater sucked up to. And I'm looking up and I see an electrical line in there. It's not allowed in there. Where's the gas line going? How the hell did they run that line? Whoever looked at this house doesn't know what they're doing. Who's responsible at the end? The homeowner. Go figure. We'll temporarily put this back on. Let's just go check. Let's see if we can pull it out. Oh, come give me a break, please. Okay, the good thing is that we are disconnecting the furnace, the hot water heater. There is going to be no more off gases, but we do have to determine that electrical point and the gas line. Right now, it's off. We'll get to it. There's kids in this house. That should have been caught. Did anybody ever get a feeling that there might be something in the ground here? I'm just wondering if we should, maybe go fishing.
Well, how about we just open it up a little bit and find out exactly what it is?
Sure. That's disgusting. That's the return air?
That's the return air. So that's all that stuff was floating in the air.
Out of sight, out of mind, right?
Yep.
Now, for the sump pump, minimum code requirement states we can hang out an 1.5-inch line, 8 inches outside, so it drips right back into the foundation. Let's take it out to a dry pit away from the home that's going to hold the water away from the foundation.
People don't know about dry well systems. Actually, it's very old technology. They've used dry wells for hundreds of years. when everybody used to have cistern systems, they used to collect all the rainwater, and they would use whatever water they could for around the house, feeding the animals.
Now go figure, we did this hundreds of years ago, and we don't do it anymore.
No, it works well, Mike. Boy, we've used these very successful for years.
Well, sure beats running it outside the house and putting it right back in the foundation again.
Well, yeah, and it is a problem when you're doing additions and that, and the city does require a sump box installation. That is the problem.
Why is it not minimum code to bring it away from the house? Now it's minimum code to pull your downspouts out. It's within code anyways. It's no longer in the weeping system. So if we're trying to divert all the water away from the house, why did they make the code that you can drop the sump pump right outside of the foundation?
Well, I'm not exactly sure, but for some reason, the building department stops short of putting in a sump box. They won't tell you where to exhaust it to, or how to exhaust it, or anything. That information is just not available from them. We're going about 24 inches deep here for the exhaust line.
Okay. We're going to be approximately 40 feet away, eh? Run through. Yep. I see you've already pulled up the stone. 2 feet down, and all I've got to do is go inside and access that. And I'll wait till we dug down so we get that direct run. I don't want to put it in too deep. I wait for you, and I'll re-drill this.
Well, like I said, we'll be coming out of that wall about 2 feet below grade, 24 inches below grade.
Okay.
We're just recovering the Freon from the air conditioning right now. We're going to be replacing the furnace, so we need to change the coil that's in the air conditioning. So right now I just got my recovery machine hooked up with my tank, which is hooked to the air conditioning, so we'll be taking the gas out. The reason you want to recover the Freon is it's against the law right now to just cut the lines and let it out to the atmosphere. You know, it's going to ruin our ozone layer. So recover, do it by code, do it by law, and you have no problem.
This is Ipex Aqua plastic polyethylene pipe. Has 3 layers, an internal layer, then there's an aluminum coating and an exterior layer. Interior and exterior layers are polyethylene. It's guaranteed for 25 years. Very easy to install and will outlast copper. These fittings, because they're 3/8 inside, some inspectors don't like that. Myself, after installing that and seeing the actual results, even when I use a lot of fittings on this product, you still get better flow. Just because you're not using 90s. The 90s on copper pipe restrict the flow more than anything. So you want the water to get from your valve coming in the house to your fixtures with the least resistance as possible.
The guys found a hole in the ground here, and this is really interesting. I've never in my life seen it. This appears to be an old dry well where water goes into. It is massive. It is so big. It is brick. And it's the same brick as the house, so it was done at the same time. It is about this big. You're at the bottom? Okay, so that's rock there, right? Wow.
It's a freshwater containment unit of some kind. It has nothing to do with the sanitary or the drains or anything like that.
What's that?
That was probably a breather vent that came up to here.
Is that ever interesting? See how they built the brick up and created it staggered into the top for the opening?
Yep. What this is an old cistern system. The elevation of this line here probably used to take all the rainwater that would come off the structure, and it would go here. When it filled up, it would flow out into that ditch on the outside. Now, they might have even been using this water for gardening, that type of thing around the house before all the infrastructure was done in the streets, and they filled up all the ditches and put in all the proper sanitary drains, everything like that.
This line that comes up here, I'll put my money on it. There was a pump here.
Oh, absolutely.
And they would pump the water to use this water.
Yep, they would use this around the yard. And back when they built these houses after the war and that, there would be no way that they would use tap water for watering the gardens or anything like that. They would have still been using the same old technology of well water. If we can collect it and use it, let's use it.
I can't believe
that's exactly what this
it is
for.
Preserved.
Amazing, eh? Try to lay it in pieces if we can, not all in one big pile. Yeah. You want to put in a layer of concrete and then a layer of dirt, layer of concrete, layer of dirt. We're going to dig up down here. We're going to prime the wall, patch it, put the drainage board, the rubberized membrane, everything on the wall, because there is a crack in the wall from prior frost damage.
First thing we do is we clean down the wall after we've excavated the area. Then we put our first layer of primer on, which is a bonding agent for the tar. And then once it's dry and sticky, we put our tar on. And then after the first coat of tar, which is usually an 1/8 to an inch thick, we put the first layer of mesh, which is this. And then after the mesh, we put another layer of tar. And then after the next layer of tar, we put another layer of a layer of plastic to hold everything in. And then after the plastic is on, we just go ahead and put our drainage board on and our top straps and seal it all off.
I want all the water that we're going to catch from the sump box and the drain system from the weeping tile and everything, I want it to be able to dissipate into the earth. Basically what we're going to do is fill this pit up to about within 1 foot of finished grade. And we're going to fold that cloth over top of the gravel bed, and then we can put our topsoil and grass seed back on top.
And we have a clean containment. I like that. Perfect.
have thought buying a house would cause so much problems. This job is becoming extremely a pain in my butt.
We're just taking out the old air conditioning right now. We're going to be replacing it with a new one. But unfortunately today, it seems like it's raining a little bit. So we're going to have to come back and install the new one another day. You don't want to install air conditioning when it's raining out. You don't want to open up the system and get any type of moisture in the system. And that's a contaminant that can get into your compressor. And you don't want to get any type of moisture contaminants in your compressor. It's just going to kill the life of the unit. So we're just going to get this one out for today and put the new one in place. And we'll be back probably tomorrow to get the new one installed.
We've got the whole place rewired. Yeah, we have all our heating runs done. The guy's got the furnace in, the Northwood guy's got the furnace in. Joe's wired the whole house in a matter of a week. This is really running along. We've got it insulated. We're ready for drywall. We can cut the next one at 94.
Just installing this tankless hot water heater. I'm just soldering up the last couple of connections.
What this does is replaces your big holding tank gallon hot water heater. With the big tanks you see, the big hot water tanks you see, that water in that big tank has to be constantly heated and then cooled, And even if you're away on vacation or something, so you're saving a lot of gas like this. Anytime you turn a tap on above, say in the laundry tub or your kitchen, that's the only time you'll just use as much gas as you need to heat that water that you're using. The cold water comes in here and goes through this coil here, and it heats up this section so that the water coming out in the hot pipe will reach 120 to 120 degrees Fahrenheit instantaneously. It's an instant hot water heater, saving on gas, more efficient. I think in 20 years you're going to see this in every home.
Looking good, lots of work. Damon had to do a self-leveling in here because he's a perfectionist. That's why I have him. He's a good guy. Just making sure that we have a nice level floor for the tile. The idea is to put in just a simple cabinet here with a sink. We will have an access in the bottom of the cabinet to get to the clean out, and it'll be right on it, clean out. Also made sure we put up curtain around the tub. The tub is in place. It's all leveled. It's looking really good. And lucky enough, we were able to get this unit, the exhaust fan, within the tub area, and it's safe. It's allowed, electrically allowed. And think about it, it's going to pick up the fumes or the moisture immediately and fire it out. The problem we have, obviously, is the height of this bulkhead here. Something I don't like. That's why I did not raise the floor. Normally I would put a 1-inch foam, rigid foam on the floor and then plywood, but even I'm 6 feet and I'm hitting it, so it's just under. Obviously the door's tight to the laundry room. It's looking good. We've got the hot water heater in, instant hot water heater. Wasn't a lot of changes in the ductwork, but just making sure we run heat and return where necessary in the basement. You can see the openness as you come downstairs. Now it's open, right? This will be the office. We have an open area here, which allows it bigger. Even though it's the shortest ceiling, the idea is that it's just more room. Then you come and step into here. Sal.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, buddy? You're doing a really good job, man.
Thank you very much.
Well, pleasure to meet you. We're going to trim it?
Yeah, we're going to trim it. We started out trimming it tight, but then the bulk, it ended up here. We went as tight as possible. Adam went as tight as possible, so we had no choice. So I then framed off that.
Okay, spray foam that.
Yeah, for sure.
Spray foam everything in there before that's trimmed.
Okay.
See the way this stands out? It looks ugly, right? And it's the same way as doing a bulk here without continuing trying to create some sort of feature. Sure, it would have been empty space, we might have been able to put a pot light in it or something, but always keep this in mind that when you're going to do bulks, visually, how's it going to look? I want you to extend this bulkhead.
Okay.
I can't. It's going to drive me insane.
That's all right.
So pop the corner bead, extend the bulkhead, do it as quick as you can so Sal can get a coat of plaster on it, lose this.
Okay.
And now what we're going to do is we're going to wainscot this wall. Then a chair rail. We'll put an access panel in there, and you won't see it. It'll give an effect on this wall.
Yeah.
And it solves our problem.
That'll look great.
Why do we have this? That is that piece of ductwork, right?
Duct. We had no choice in it.
Okay. And what I want you to do then is get some wood, and I want you to extend it right across.
Sure.
Okay. Same thing on the other side.
Okay.
Let's do the brick pattern on the floor this way.
Okay.
And the brick pattern on the wall this way.
Okay, you're okay with that. Okay, good. That's what I was going to ask you about, because we do it this way. Do you want them running up this way at that point, or?
And make sure, just because of all your aesthetics here, just bring it out probably about to here, straight down the top. Okay. Don't have a little piece. Give us a nice piece.
Okay.
Basements are scary places. Now I know why the kids don't want to come down here.
So I got my center line mat. We figured out our pattern. We're gonna come off our center line. I think that's gonna be the best way. The first one, I always like doing this. I center the first tile on that line. And then on the top one, we're gonna stagger it, so I'm gonna come off that line, and I have a line to go to there. Once we level this, you can fly on this. Okay, so the first course is always your most important.
It's looking good. You're using the power roller?
Yeah.
Man, you gotta love that sprayer, right?
Definitely.
Are we gonna paint this too?
We're gonna paint that. It's naughty fine, so I'm gonna prime it with an alcohol-based or shellac-based primer, just to seal those knots so they don't bleed through.
You're a smart man.
Can't use latex on it.
That's why you're here. We can paint it and paint it and paint it, and the knots will keep bleeding through, right?
Exactly.
So seal it with a shellac, or you add the shellac?
No, shellac-based primer.
Shellac-based primer. I will remember that.
It stinks, but it dries in 30 minutes and levels really nicely and seals the knots.
Nice.
We're installing the HEPA filter. It's to filtrate the air throughout the house, go into a big canister type filter, and that way it'll catch all contaminants in the air. It's good for if you got allergies or for kids that do have allergies, hay fever. It cleans all the contaminants in the air.
A lot of people, they surge protect their TVs, surge protect their computers. What about your furnace, your fridge, your AC?
Your microwave, your telephone, your answering machine.
Everything else.
I know, because my home got zapped by lightning.
Exactly.
Fried everything.
The surge protector here goes in and we protect everything. So imagine now that TV, you still keep your surge protector on it. That computer, you still keep your surge protector on it. Now you got double protection.
Now, if this does get fried, say lightning strikes, and it does get fried, it fries this, must be replaced.
It fries this, yeah. It needs to be replaced. It'll trip your breaker.
Yep.
Then again, you can also see it's got a little light here.
Yep.
When it's working properly, it will be lit.
Okay, so for approximately just under $500 installed,
yeah,
you're protecting the whole house.
Yeah, instead of going out buying a new fridge, a new furnace.
Well, when lightning hit my house, it was $10,000.
Exactly. 500, 10,000.
Fried my furnace. I mean everything. I was stunned. Microwave, telephone, you name it, it fried it.
Just fried it. We're protected now.
Just like that. Already flying. These guys don't mess around. Fit it first, pull it up, put down the underpad, and that makes sense so you don't ruin it. All the stuff that was in the office, get it back in the office. The office is done and clean. Move everything in there, clean up this living room. Let's get the desk back downstairs. Are we ready for that to get the TV on it?
Yeah.
So like split up, who's gonna do the TV, get the TV down so it's safe so nobody hits it. Hold off on the couches, we'll do that last, but let's get the desk set up with the TV and everything else and everything out of here so we can get this knocked off, get the cleaners done in here, and we're almost done. Let's do it, please, thank you. How many guys you got in here today?
Well, we're 3 in one room right now. We have about 6 here today. We're just trying to work where we can. Yeah.
So let's see. We have cleaners in, we have painters in, electricians, HVAC, all our guys. And I mean all our guys. Yeah. I guess you can see it, but I've already noticed you've done the dining room. Great. We're going to try immensely to get guys upstairs, start finishing upstairs, so you two can go up there and we'll work our way down and out of this house.
Sure.
We're almost there. No sweat. I know we can do it. 2 hours. I guarantee it. Look, they didn't even clean the frickin' thing before they put in the new unit. No wonder, eh? They didn't even clean the chimney, I can tell.
And this is all open here.
Oh my God.
So they must have had carbon monoxide or something in here.
Oh my God, I guess they did.
Because when you look down inside from where the pipe is, it's in the same cavity.
So you're saying all exhaust from the hot water heater and the
some of it must be
furnace was exhausting into the home?
Yeah.
Not good.
Very good.
Just drill the hole to run the half-inch gas line in. And we'll be running a solid pipe from inside here all the way down to the basement, and then we'll be running a flex connector from that solid pipe to the fireplace. We're just putting some soap solution on just to make sure that none of these joints have any leaks. Now, if there is any leaks, you'll see them bubble up. It'll be, quite a bit of bubbles inside, so everything looks good. Looks like we got no bubbles, and like they say, no bubbles, no troubles.
No bubbles, no troubles.
It has been a long, long day. Tried to finish by 7:30. It's now 11:15. It's just the way it is. Good work takes what it takes. Okay. Let's bring them home. That's enough. The day's done. It's early, right?
Yeah. It's early, yeah.
Come back home.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, visually, that's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It is?
Yes. It's gorgeous.
Well, it's a good thing you hired an inspector, let me tell you. Because let me tell you what I found.
We know we need and want a home inspection on all the homes we buy because we're looking for a professional opinion to state, is the home good enough to buy? Is there any problems with it? The whole point to it or idea is that you have something to negotiate with for buying power.
Let me say, I don't even know where to start anymore because there was just so much involved here, okay? Let's talk about the electrical in the kitchen alone. Your fridge was tied into absolutely everything. Your receptacles were tied into everything. There was illegal junctions in the walls upstairs. The more we started breaking, imagine how much damage we did to the inside of your home. It was a lot. And what we could do was try and preserve everything and not make it that dirty.
If it's going to cost $50,000 to fix something, you're going to want to know that ahead of time so you can deal with the other homeowners to say whether or not you want the home.
The last minute, we pulled out that fireplace because the gas line was running through the chimney, the electrical was running through the chimney, and it was open zone behind that fireplace, which means the off gases from the furnace and the off gases from the hot water heater were coming out into your home, and you didn't even know it.
Oh my goodness.
We did over $100,000 worth of work. That could have been negotiating power to the homeowner.
The bathroom upstairs was really taken apart. The sink was pulled, the plumbing was replaced, the heating was replaced, the electrical was replaced. We've cut you now an access to your attic up in the main hallway, so we could fish wires all the way through everything and come down without damaging ceilings was my biggest point, not to touch your plaster.
Now, not only would it be good to know that they could have saved $100,000 on the home, it would have been good to know moving in with 2 little kids that the home was an extreme fire hazard.
Well, unfortunately, we ruined your carpet, so we had to get you new carpet.
Wow. Is this the same basement?
No.
Oh my goodness.
This is incredible.
This is the bathroom.
Yeah, this was your bathroom.
Yeah.
So to me, we totally changed the design. Oh my God. Again, the electricians were so good. Everything was pulled. All your telephones were rerun. All your cable was rerun. A brand new panel. Let's take a look. With an extra added bonus, you have a surge protector to the whole house.
Wow.
Okay, this means now, it doesn't mean you shouldn't use surge protection bars. You still should, but this is a double whammy. This will protect your furnace, your garage door opener, your anything, right? Even though you don't have a garage door opener. Again, everything ripped down. We have proper insulation in behind it. We have 2-inch foam on the walls. This way we don't have any vapor barrier and a worry of electrical fire.
It doesn't take a rocket science to see things that are in front of your eyes. If we see improper plumbing from the beginning, little electrical things, a couple of minor issues, odds are you're going to see something behind the wall.
Wonderful.
Look at the tub, awesome.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Great. Very nice.
Very nice.
Now I don't think you're going to smell anything like bad fumes or anything like that. And you know what? It actually drains.
Yay.
Point being, you want a professional to tell you. Somebody's messed with the house. It looks like they don't know what they're doing. Trace back for permits. It's obvious there's not one permit in that whole house. Because nothing would have passed. That means no permits. It was done by someone who's not licensed.
I brought in a drain specialist who scoped all the drains in the basement so we could determine how they were run and everything we were going to do. We ended up breaking up your floor all the way around the house, pulling out the existing weeping drains, pulling out all the drains in the floor, all new weepers. A new sump pump was in the new furnace room. Let's see, what else, my goodness, did I find? Let's take a look at the furnace room. I mean, this is nothing fancy. It's your new utility room. So we have rerouted everything. As a matter of fact, it's a new furnace.
Wow.
It's now tied in with a beautiful HEPA air filter system and air cleaning system. All new, high efficiency. So now we no longer are using your chimney. So everything is fresh air from outside, exhausted outside without using the chimney. It's now safe. All new gas lines run. We have an instant tankless hot water system in your home. What you have to do is, so you understand how these work, you cannot trickle your hot water. You have to open it. It must hit 2.5 gallons per minute to fire. Let me tell you a little story about the sump pump here. So the sump pump's in, we ran everything, we passed everything. Minimum code requirement states that we pump that sump pump 8 inches out of the wall. So as soon as we did that, it started pumping, and we got water coming in your basement.
Oh.
John McRae come in, and they dug that whole corner, watertight the wall, and then we trenched a new line to a dry well, or a dry pit, which is 4 times the size of the sump pit. And on our way of trenching that line, we found an old-fashioned well right in front of your house.
Wow.
Unbelievable. It had to be 6 feet in diameter, at least 6 feet deep, and it was for fresh water. And there was actually, years ago, a pump in front of your home.
Incredible.
Yes, which means you have a septic tank in the backyard somewhere. Yes. I think we covered everything in one home that could possibly go wrong. You picked it. Electrical should have burnt the house down. As a matter of fact, we found burnt wires that were already charring, and the possibilities of the fire happening were huge. Off gases coming back into your house, mold, carpenter ants that were going to continue to grow. As a matter of fact, the specialist that I brought in for removing these bugs said, "Did you see the ants with wings?" Well, as a matter of fact, I saw about at least 100 of them with wings. He says that means they've been here a long time.
He doesn't stop, right? He takes care of everything, and that's what's wonderful about it. It's safe and comfortable like a home should be.
We've given you everything we could give you that we should give you if it was my home, without taking it down and building a new one.
Incredible. But it looked so good, Mike, remember? It didn't look, bad, you're right. But upon further because a person like me would look around and say, yeah, that's normal, right? That's why you pay somebody to tell you if it's good or bad.
Well, welcome to my world of illusions.
Yeah.
What looks good doesn't mean it is.
Was all of it necessary? Yes. The furnace was almost gone. The electrical should have burnt the house down. The plumbing, that was obvious.
It's not worth it. Not a home inspection. I'd certainly call tradespeople in, like electricians and plumbers and a good general contractor to look at the house and give you their opinion, because the home inspector that we had didn't find any of these issues. And it's sad.
Thanks. And one from him. Yeah, no.
Maybe you don't mind.
We're never moving.
Yeah. No.
Unless Mike starts building homes.
Yeah, and then we'll buy one of those.
Then we'll buy one of his.
Feeling groovy. Adam, awesome job. Let me tell you. Brian, my God, we got everybody. Damon.
Thanks, buddy.
Sir Matt, co-op student. Thank you. Johnny, as usual. Micah, Gogi.
Hey.
Pinky. For your first baseman.
Thank you, brother.
You received an A+.
Thank you very much.
Good job. Good job. To everyone, have a good night. Drive safe.
See you guys.